Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Bayonne Zoning Board of Adjustment. Secretary Lombari, please call the roll.
Sure. Commissioner DeRoss, he's out. Commissioner Sis-Galvin,
Here.
Commissioner Conti is out. Commissioner Lubach,
Here.
Commissioner Frame,
Here.
Commissioner Elgari is out. Commissioner Garvey. Here. I am here. Vice Chairman Panero.
Here.
And Chairman DeLulo.
Here. Having a quorum, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This regular meeting of the City of Bayonne Zoning Board of Adjustments has complied with the Open Public Meeting Act Sunshine Law. Annual notice of the schedule of regular meetings were published in both the Jersey Journal and Star Ledger newspaper. The schedule of regular meetings for calendar year 2025 is filed with the City Clerk's office. A copy of the agenda of tonight's meeting was emailed to the Star Ledger at least 48 hours prior to this meeting and is posted on the bulletin board in the lobby of the municipal building and the City of Bayonne website. Next, we have the adoption of minutes. If there are no amendments, can we have a motion to adopt the minutes from February's meeting?
I'll move the motion.
And a second?
Second.
And a vote.
Commissioner Sis-Galvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Lubach,
Aye.
Commissioner Frame,
Aye.
Commissioner Garvey.
Aye.
I vote aye. Vice Chairman Panero.
Aye.
Chairman DeLulo.
Aye. Minutes adopted. Counselor, do we have any communications?
Mr. Chairman, there were no communications this evening.
Okay. So first on the agenda, we have Z-24-011 Kennedy Boulevard, Bayonne LLC, Site 120 JF Kennedy Boulevard, Block 335, Lot 14. The applicant is requesting a variance relief for interior conversion of the existing two-story mixed-use building to a two-family residential dwelling, eliminating the ground floor commercial use and one residential unit on the second floor, thus creating a two-family dwelling. Sir?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Noemu Velosi on behalf of Kennedy Bayonne LLC for the property located at 120 JFK Kennedy Boulevard in Bayonne. As you stated, we are looking to convert a storefront into an apartment. And with that, first we have an additional exhibit which we'd like marked as A22 with copies for everyone.
Sure. We need Alicia takes those, don't you?
When the land use administrator gets here, she'll pass,
You want me to bring them up?
give them to the stenographer. She'll distribute them. Would you like to move your other exhibits into evidence as well? Did Alicia give you a list of things?
She did give me a list, Counsel.
So it's A1 through A22 you'd like to move into evidence?
That's correct.
Mr. Chairman?
Sure. Sorry.
You can proceed.
And with that, I'd like to call our only witness of the night. He's both our architect and our planner. If we could have him come up and have him sworn in.
Yes, I do. Jose Izquierdo, I, Z like zebra, Q-U-I-E-R-D like David, O.
Counselor,
Mr.
you can take this mic over here.
Give you two podiums here.
I feel privileged tonight. Mr. Izquierdo, could you give us your architectural background, please?
Yes, good evening, members of the board. I received a Bachelor of Architecture from the Georgia Institute of Technology in 1978. I received a Master's of Architecture in Community and Regional Planning in Architecture in 1980 from the University of Texas at Austin, and I received a Juris Doctor degree from the Rutgers University School of Law in Newark in 2002. I am presently licensed as an architect in the state of New York since November 1984. I have been licensed as an architect and as a planner in the state of New Jersey since July 1985, and I have been admitted to New York practice since November 2002.
Thank you. We'll accept his expert testimony.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Scardo, could you take us through your presentation, please?
Yes, thank you.
Sir, that mic will come out and you can take it with you.
There are 6 drawings submitted to the application. The first drawing shows an aerial view. It shows also a front elevation of 120 John F. Kennedy Boulevard. It shows the architecture of the building, which we're trying to save, and we're going to be following Mr. Blauk's comments as to providing masonry headers here. This is a zoning map, and we have the list of variances here. This is the project description. This is going to be removing a non-conforming use in the R2 zone, removing what was previously a laundromat. It is now vacant, and turning it into a 2-family home, which is an allowed use in the R2 zone. But in order to do that, we need a number of C1 variances because the lot is undersized. Our lot right now is 25 by 52 feet 8, whereas 30 by 100 feet is required. These are C1 variances, whereas by extreme smallness of the property, the site is conforming. The lot area required is 3,000 square feet. Again, that's a C1 variance. We have 1,448 square feet. The front yard required is 20 feet, but the existing house is at 0. It aligns with the other houses on the site, on the neighborhood. The rear yard required is 20 feet, and our rear yard is 7 feet 6 inches. The maximum building height conforms. We're allowed to have 2.5 stories or 35 feet, and we have 2 stories or 25 feet 2 inches. That's not a variance. The rear yard and the side yard are not exacerbated because the application does not entail any increase in area nor in volume. The lot coverage allowed is 70%, which would be a total of 2,100 square feet, and the lot coverage right now is 100%. That is an existing condition. We're not exacerbating it. We're remaining it the same. And the off-street parking requirements, existing, we have no parking space because the house is right on the front property line, as the adjoining properties are as well. But according to our SIS, we're required to have a total of 4 parking spaces because we have 2 two-bedrooms. And according to the city of Bayonne, we're required to have 2.5 parking spaces. However, the existing condition with the laundromat, our conversion of that apartment, of that laundry into an apartment exacerbates that parking variance where the existing laundry requires only 1 parking space, and the 2-bedroom apartment would require 1.25 parking spaces. So we're increasing the variance for parking by 0.25 parking spaces. The front sheet also shows the approval block and the schedule of drawings. Sheet 02 just shows aerial photos and some of the site. As the board members can see, all the properties are aligned here along Kennedy Boulevard. This is our house, and these are the other houses which are aligned along the front property line. This is the 200-foot radius map showing all the uses within the area, showing that all the uses along this area, with the exception of that corner property and this other corner property, are all residential uses. So turning this laundromat, which is a non-conforming use, into a conforming use as an apartment to a 2-family, promotes the land use, the master plan, and the zoning ordinance. Sheet 4 shows the existing condition of this 2-story building with a concrete patio in the back, and shows the house as we're proposing to have, which has no extension. As you see, the house aligns both in the front and in the rear with the adjoining neighbors. Part of the application is to provide 2 sidewalk trees, which was suggested and required by the planner. The existing house, the access to the basement, which is the Bilco door, and some of the features in the front encroach into the public right-of-way, for which we're requesting a license by the city. Sheet 5 shows the existing. The house basically was gutted out. There's nothing here, nothing in the basement, nothing in the first floor, and nothing in the second floor. There are no changes proposed to the roof. And then these are the encroachments that you see, basically the front steps for both what was the laundry and what was the entrance to the apartment, and the Bilco door access to the basement. The proposed construction is going to have an area for garbage and for recyclables, which is only accessible through the Bilco door. The building superintendent will collect the garbage from the 2 apartments and will bring it out into this garbage room and will take it out the day of collection. The apartment on the ground floor is composed of 2 bedrooms, a master bedroom with its master bathroom, and another bedroom, a second bedroom with a common bathroom here, both for guests and for this bedroom. The kitchen is here. It has an open island, and this is the living space. And the layout on the second floor is identical. I'd like to modify the application at the suggestion of the engineer. We originally had an opening here, which used to serve a deck, and we created like a Romeo and Juliet balcony here, a French balcony, but we're gonna be removing this door and just having a window. We will modify the application in revised plans to be submitted to the board. Sheet 5 shows the existing building that has the metal roll-up grill here for the laundry room and has the existing doors here. We're preserving the architecture of the house, which we find very attractive actually, but according to the suggestions of Mr. Blaug, we're going to have a precast simple masonry header on top of these windows on the second floor and on the first floor, as well as a sill, a precast sill in the first floor and in the second floor. Those are going to be similar to these precast headers that are in the rear of the building, and which we have pictures for that. This is an exhibit which we submitted to show where the garbage and the recycling is going to go, where the man is going to come over. It's going to bring it into the basement. Same here, it's going to go down the stairs, bring it into the basement, and from the basement, it's going to go out to the curb. I'd like to modify the application following the planner's suggestions. I already testified that we're requesting a license for the encroachments to the public right-of-way in the front of the building. We would like to modify the light radiance that we have with the front lights to be no more than 1.5-foot candles. And we're also going to be modifying the application not only by the providing of the plain precast masonry header and sill as existing in the rear facade, but also to modify that the width of the glass in the front should match the width of the outer edges of the door glass to give a wider dimension to the window sash. The project as a planner, in my opinion, meets the positive criteria because essentially we're removing a non-conforming use, which is the laundromat, to a conforming use, which is an apartment. It also benefits the adjoining owners, since municipal land use law requires that there be a benefit to the community because the 2 adjoining buildings are residential, and they would benefit by having a residential building and not a laundromat. The negative criteria is created by the situation that we have whenever you have one apartment, which is 2 bedrooms requiring 1.25 parking spaces, and the laundry requiring 1 parking space, that's a total of 2.25 parking spaces. But when we have two bedrooms, then it would be 2.5 parking spaces. So it's 0.25 parking spaces exacerbated the variance for parking, according to the city of Bayonne. I feel that the positive criteria outweighs the negative criteria, and I believe that the project is in conformance with the land use, the master plan of the city of Bayonne, as well as the zoning ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Izquierdo.
I have nothing further.
Can you just tell us the square footage of each apartment or the bedrooms?
The largest floor is 1,093 square feet. So the second floor apartment is 1,093 square feet, and the first floor apartment is about 1,000 square feet because I lose about 100 square feet here. The basement is common just for utilities and for the garbage, as I indicated. The basement is also connected to the ground floor apartment, as they're going to have like an area downstairs. The basement, other than through the Bilco door, has no access to the outside. So there's no way that this basement can be turned into an illegal apartment. It actually has no windows.
Thank you, Mr. Izquierdo. Mr. Chairman, I have no other questions of Mr. Izquierdo.
Thank you. I don't get this garbage situation. So a landlord supervisor is going to be going into everybody's apartments to collect the garbage on some sort of schedule?
No, well, no.
Well, that's what you testified.
Yes, yes, well, yes, I did. But actually, every tenant can come out and bring the garbage down into the Bilco door and place it here. So the second floor tenant will go down these stairs, bring the garbage into the basement, and then it will be the building superintendent that is going to take the garbage from the basement out onto the curb on the day of collection. So no, the superintendent is not going to enter the people's apartments. The two tenants are going to bring the garbage into the garbage room, as well as the recyclables, cardboard, glass, plastics, whatnot, and the building superintendent is going to be taking it out on the day of collection.
Now, just take me through the basement a little bit. There's an entrance in the front and the back.
Through the Bilco door, you can enter the basement, but only to that garbage room. There's going to be a concrete block wall around here, so the garbage is going to be completely contained. However, the ground floor apartment can access through these stairs, which are underneath the other stairs, and go downstairs to the basement, and it has access to that. But we're not planning to finish the basement or anything.
Okay, and where would the utilities be?
The utilities are provided in every one of the apartments. They're going to be split systems. You're providing here with the water heater here and the water heater here. There's a washer and dryer here. There's going to be a new HVAC unit and a new water heater here for the unit number 1 in the basement level, and the water heater and the air conditioning unit for the second unit is going to be in this closet.
Okay, and there's ventilation system for the garbage room?
We will provide same.
Are there any other questions from the board?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. What's the access to the basement from the second floor?
There's no access to the basement from the
They
second.
can't throw their garbage out.
No, the people from the second floor, they go down these stairs to the street, and out through the street, they enter the Bilco door and go out into this garbage room. The people from the first floor, likewise, they go out into the street and out into the Bilco door and put the garbage in here.
Oh, they both have to use the Bilco door.
They both have to use the
Okay,
Bilco
thank you.
door. There's no connection between this space and this. This is going to be a concrete block wall.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Just a point of reference, if I may. On your exhibit on sheet T03, you show a radius, a red radius there with properties, lots labeled with Rs.
Yes.
Just a point of reference to that. What's that stand for?
This is a 200-foot radius map, and it shows on the tax map of the city of Bayonne the uses the adjoining uses to this property. This is residential, 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 residential. The R is for residential. The CR is for commercial on the ground floor, residential on the upper floor. The one, for instance, on the corner of Margaret and JFK, which is lot 13, is business use. These are all residential uses. Those are the uses. It's a tax map with adjacent uses and structures, 200 feet radius map.
So if I may, this lot, this particular lot that this project is on, it's an irregular sized lot, correct?
Yes, it is.
How many other irregular sized lots are marked with the R as residential are in that same area?
This is lot 14 of block 335. In this very same block, lot 15 is also irregular. Lot 13 is irregular, and lot 12 are irregulars. The four ones facing on Kennedy Boulevard. The one on the corner is also irregular, but that's a mixed use, commercial and residential.
Thank you.
I still have one other question. Are you doing any improvements to the sidewalks or the patio in the back?
No, the patio in the back, we weren't planning to improve, but the sidewalk, we're going to have a brand new
Is there-
sidewalk with the trees and
Is there
whatnot.
any chance to do anything with pervious coverage there to help us lessen the 100% coverage?
Sure, we can modify our plans to just have a little bit of a concrete outside of the door leading out here. Let me show you. So from here on the ground floor, this door coming out, we can have a little bit of a concrete patio, and then the rest to be green area, landscaping.
can
We
you
can
work with
modify the
our-
plans for that.
Professionals on, see if there's anything we can do there just to help a little bit? I mean, I know there isn't much you can do with this property, and I know you're not exacerbating any of the pre-existing condition, any of the pre-existing
I think
conditions.
it's a good idea.
But you're not really doing anything to help lessen the exacerbation on any of these pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, we can modify the plans and do a revised submission if the board is kind enough, almost like to give it as a condition of approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll have a little bit of a patio, maybe a 5x5 or something small, and then the rest to be grass, and then whatever the tenant wants to plant. I would like to have maybe some landscaping along the edges, maybe some arborvitaes or something like that, 6 foot.
Yeah, you can work with our professionals on the final, but yes, we can make that a condition of approval.
I'd be happy to work with the applicant on
Thank you.
some plantings.
Do we have any other board questions?
you. In terms of the basement, I believe you mentioned that it's going to be unfinished. You also mentioned that there's a water heater. Can you just confirm for me that there's no walls or anything that are going to be erected? And what do the floors look like? Is it a concrete slab? Maybe just a little more information about what's in the basement. And where are the meters for the utilities?
The meters are all shown up here. There's a sump pump here, but the meters are in the basement in this corner. I'm sure that PSE&G is going to have the gas remote and the Veolia is going to have the water read remotely, but there are no partitions here. This is a bluestone foundation wall. This is from the time the Lincoln Tunnel was built, as everything in Hudson County. The bluestone foundation wall, and we have a concrete floor. There's no plans to finish the basement. And since this property is going to be rented, it's not going to be allowed the tenant to have partitions or anything there.
Any other questions from the board? If not, any from our professionals?
Nothing further.
Okay.
If I may be clarified, because I lost my train of thought, I'm going to modify this here, and what else am I modifying? Besides the header and everything that I went through, I'm modifying something else, right?
The lighting.
The lighting, yes, I know. I have that in my
Lighting, the
note.
headers, and then whatever you can do to
The landscaping here,
the landscaping.
the sidewalk, we're going to have a brand-new sidewalk. We already have the right-of-way that we're going to be requesting a license from the city for that. And
The rear door is going to be converted to window.
a window, we're going to eliminate the Juliet balcony. That's all marked here. Okay, so it's only this patio and the landscaping.
Yep. No other questions from the board. I'm going to assume there's no questions from the audience. I think you're all together. Okay. Well, with that, we're going to, do you have your closing remarks?
Mr. Chairman, we ask that the board approve this project based on my architect and planner's testimony with conditions of approval as to speaking with the city professionals and working something out as to the back landscape. With that, I submit.
Thank you. With that, we'll go into closed caucus. It's tough, these old buildings with these irregular lots, and, you know, you're, the only chance you have to fall under any kind of zoning laws is to start consolidating lots, and that's just not part of this. So you're doing the best you can with what's there, and I would be in favor of this. Vice Chair Pinheiro.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see that this is a unique subject here. We're dealing with an existing building where it is what it is. It's dilapidated. It needs tremendous amount of work to it. And it is limited to what it can go. It can be there. So I like the outline of it. I like the setup with the apartments. And I think that it's a much more improvement than what's there today. And with that said, I would be in favor of it.
Thank you. Secretary Lombari.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm in favor of this application, especially because the applicant is working with the conditions that we are providing and is willing to work with the planner, so yes, I will be in favor.
And Commissioner Sisgalvin.
I'm in agreement with my fellow commissioners. We'll be voting in favor of this application. I think it's a good improvement for the community.
Thank you. Commissioner Lubach.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. As far as all the conditions are met as discussed today, I will have no problem with approving this application.
Thank you. And Commissioner Frayne.
Yep, I tend to agree with everyone. I think this is a great project. I appreciate you working to keep some of the facade as well, because I think it's very unique. So I'll be supporting this project.
Thank you. And Commissioner Garvey. With that, we'll come out of closed caucus, and I will take a motion in the affirmative with the various conditions outlined by the board for Z-24-11 Kennedy Boulevard LLC.
I will move calendar Z 24-011 in the affirmative.
And a second,
A second?
and a vote.
Commissioner Sisgalvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Lubach.
Aye.
Commissioner Frayne.
Aye.
Commissioner Garvey.
Aye.
I vote aye. Vice Chairman Pinheiro.
Aye.
Chairman DeLullo.
Aye.
Thank you, members of the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Application's been approved. There are no resolutions to be adopted this evening, so we can make a motion to adjourn.
All right. With that, if there's, can I have, there.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
I'll second.
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 All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.